Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Hello, great to have you once again on Sister Talk. It's been a while, but we are back with a new show, Stay at Home Moms. These people are actually made of steel, alien steel. It is not the normal steel, because staying at home the whole day, raising children, taking care of the home, ensuring people eat, knowing what to eat, when, how, which food, that's a lot of work. So today we are going to talk to them, because one of the questions that is always asked, what do moms do at home the whole day? Today you're going to get an answer. And on the show today I have Nora Iguta, a stay-at-home mom, and Esther Mbeo, a stay-at-home mom. I'm sure they'll tell us later whether they do something else on the side. And if you're tuning in, please share the feed on both Facebook and YouTube with your friends, all the stay-at-home moms. Let's encourage each other. And you who's not a stay-at-home mom, there's a question you've been asking. What do moms do the whole day at home? Ni kukula tu na kulala? Ama Nora.
What do you do at home the whole day?
The whole day.
To simply put it, some days we have to believe God for a shower. That's what we do all day. But it's a lot of work, because like personally, I'm the one who is taking care of my kids. I'm the primary caretaker. I don't have a nanny. So it's from when they rise. I also homeschool. We have to take them through school in the morning, and their daily walks and activities and feeding. You have to log them in for their classes and all that. And also be a wife, be a mother, take care of the home. It's a lot of work. And also do something for yourself on the side. Yeah. There's a lot of work involved. Yes.
So how do you plan yourself, Esther? From waking up to going?
How do I plan myself? Okay, before I sleep, I know what I'm going to do the next day. And like Nora, I have a nanny. And I know what I need to do tomorrow, and I plan her. I also tell her what needs to be achieved and what I need to do myself. Most of the time I try to do things on my own. I also have a company that I run, Energy and Environment. So I look for work that can be done for my company. I wasn't able to stay on my own. I'll accept that. I just needed help. And that is why I applaud her. I applaud her completely.
Yeah. She's a strong woman.
Yes.
I hear that a lot about being a superwoman and all that, but I would love help. But where I stay, we stay in a village, so I would get companies to send me a nanny. When they come, the next morning, mtu wako kwa mlango, mama, huku ni kijijini sana, naomba niende leo. So several nannies did that, and then I was like, for how long? This turnover and all that. I don't know, maybe they like going near towns and stuff. So I thought I can work around it. I survive on schedules, so I don't live in the kitchen. I am a very fast cook. I manage my meals. I schedule the children, and when I like laundry and stuff, I get mamas nearby who can do that for me. But if the mama doesn't turn up, I'm not stressed. I know my way around it. There's a time I couldn't even get that mama. So what I did, I went on YouTube and looked for American moms with 8 children plus. How they manage those storied, mine is not yet fully complete.
Yeah.
How do they manage those storied houses, 8 children, they are homeschooled, they do the laundry and they cook. So I learned from them to schedule myself. And then my mother-in-law tells me, right now, focus on this nyumba.
The house can take care of itself.
Yeah, it's true.
And also my husband helps me a lot.
Yeah.
So like when he comes from work, he takes over the boys. They do some nini. So I'm also able to do something. But my secret is not living in the kitchen.
Yeah. I think one of the hardest tasks is always to come up with which food to eat.
Yes. I used to struggle with that, and then I sat down and I observed my family. What do they like? What is the food that if I cook, I don't have to scream there the whole meal time? So I focus on that meal.
Yeah.
They like pizza, for example. I'm in the village, and then there are 3 robust boys. If I go to a restaurant every day, I'll go mad. So I learned how to make my pizza from scratch. I make them the foods they like. Mimi napenda githeri, so najipanga huko baadaye.
Esther, do you have a schedule for food or?
I have a schedule for everything.
You have to.
So for the food timetable, I don't make what I like. I just make what is good for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have a timetable. Like on Monday, we have chapati and dengu, or chapati and beans or any other grain. And there's a day that we have meat, stroke, chicken, stroke. So everything is arranged. Whatever is available is that what we eat.
Yeah.
But at least there are days for ugali, there are days for rice, there are days for chapati,
Spaghetti.
and all that. And also, I'm not a good cook, and I cook nicely.
Yeah.
My family appreciates
Yeah.
my food. That's what matters.
As long as it can,
Yeah. But at least I have put up a combination that will enable them to eat properly.
healthy.
Yeah. And we have a schedule for housework when we are cleaning, when we are sweeping, when we are mopping, and they go to school, so there's time to recharge. I only remain with the small one who's 2 years old. There's time to recharge and there's time to
be with yourself, kind of.
Exactly.
And talking of routine, Nora, did you have to train your boys to do house chores, or you're in the process of training them to do?
They weirdly, like if they see me mopping, they want to do it. If they see you cutting onions, they want to do it. So one of the things I did is gadgetize my house. Like I buy stuff that can help a boy cut onions without actually using a
knife.
Yeah. If it's when they eat their food, there are dusters that they can actually, and it's not electrical, so they can just move it around and it collects all the food pieces. Then I come now and I wipe, the major stuff I do. But even cleaning up, like their toys, it's like a game. I'm like, so boys, we are done with lunch. Now we collect our toys. One of the things I do, I don't clean my house in the morning. It's ridiculous. It's pointless. So my boys don't go to school, so we are there the whole day. So in the morning, it's a playhouse. It's the whole deal. If you come to my house midday, it looks like it has sneezed, and I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed about it. So we do family. Then in the afternoon, I tell them, Dad is about to work. One of the things I ensure, my husband is out there working. I don't want him to come to a very, a house that looks crazy and is come from craziness out there. So in the afternoon, we clean up. The house looks very nice. So when the dad comes and he's taking the tea, You wouldn't know it was a rough house in the morning. And then I learned a secret from an American mom. Why I'm saying American a lot, it's not like there are no Kenyan moms who can help me. By the time I quit work, I didn't have, most people were saying I'm crazy to leave work. So I didn't find that Nini around me.
A niche of
people who could help me.
Support you.
She does this. She used to, in the afternoon, when you eat lunch, the boys go to their room for like an hour or two. You can either read, sleep, do whatever you want, but it's quiet. And that's when mom has her time. So when we clean up, they go to their room, they chill, the little ones sleep. Then me now, I get to do something else. Yeah, so they help me. We've learned to. There's one who doesn't like, you will wait for everyone else to clean up and stuff, but we are also getting him along.
They're the bosses. He's the boss. Yeah, and I think I've liked that where you ensure that when your spouse comes from work, they find a clean house.
Oh, yeah.
Does it affect them when they come and they find a house that's upside down, literally?
Which brings me back to the question you talked about. What do you do the whole day? Yeah. There's also that thought in your head that when he comes back and finds a house like this, he'll ask himself what was happening to his house. Like when you know he's coming back at 5, it's a roller coaster hurricane.
Yes, now your secret is out.
And at least he's able to come to some peace. And you also feel, okay, at least he was out. I was also out doing something in the house, which is also just a good thing.
Wow. So guys, you've had stay-at-home moms that are just lazy, cozying in the couch, watching TV with the remote the whole day. They also have work that they are doing. So being a stay-at-home mom, Nora, I've had you several previously say that you resigned from work. Was it out of circumstances? Was it a choice? What led you to be a stay-at-home mom?
Personally, I never thought I would be a stay-at-home mom. I thought I could balance the two. And when I got my firstborn, I thought I could actually balance. And I even had an option at work to do half day and stuff. But I would leave the house having done his meals and all that. And when I come back, he's not been fed. There's something always off. Then I said, maybe it's just, I'll be coming, I feed him and all that. But then one day we went he was unwell and we went to Gertrude's and the pediatrician said, this boy needs to see a nutritionist. My husband said, but she's a nutritionist.
The mom is actually
Linda, let me tell you, that day I despised my 6-figure salary. I felt like I would just crumble there in that hospital. And I wondered, what am I doing? What am I doing? I know there are mothers who can actually hack this. But for me, it became very, what am I doing?
Like a wake-up call.
Yeah. So I said, let me go home. I'll come back to work. And also, my husband wanted us to homeschool the kids. I learned homeschooling. I will not tell and brag to people that I knew about homeschooling. I learned it from my husband. So I thought I could also follow his dream for his kids to be homeschooled. And it wasn't easy at all because I was very anxious. I thought, now that we are living off one salary. What happens? What happens if something happens? I was so anxious. I was so fearful and depressed. It's not been an easy journey, but it has paid off. Ni kitu nimesomea juu.
Umesoma ukiendelea.
Naenda sasa nikisoma.
Okay, let's not get to Kiswahili because kuna mtu atamwaga maneno hapa. Kiswahili, unajua she's from Mombasa. So she'll start marking our bad grammar. So Esther, was it also circumstantial for you? Was it a choice?
Mine was actually circumstantial. We were laid off from work. And I said, okay. I don't have to keep looking at that time. I said, I don't have to keep looking. Let me see how I can do this. And that's when I said, I realized I need help. So I tried to do it on my own. I tried to stay at home and take care of the kids and everything. And when it reached a point, I couldn't do it. I said, no, I'm going crazy. I can't do it. And that's when we decided now we'll just get help. So we got a house help that stays with us. And I also decided, we talked about it and we said, we also need the extra coins. And that's when I went back into looking for employment. I'm still not yet employed, but I'm actually searching. So my point is, I tried it, but...
To be like alone.
Yeah, to be alone. But I realized I can't, and I'm also going back into the...
At least you did not experience what Nora was saying.
Yeah.
Someone comes in the morning, they're like...
And there's one time actually, what made me really scared, I had a nanny sent over. I was in the office. So I had a nanny sent over. And a gut thing just told me, look for someone around. You know, those mamas in the village, they work from up to 1. So I asked this lady, please just stay with my son today. When this nanny comes, don't hand over. Just stay here. Wait for me to come from work. Then I take over. So the lady did that. The nanny who had been sent had falsified all her details. She was a Ugandan with a totally different name and everything. Were it not for the leading of the Lord to look for, that time my mother-in-law who lives next was also working. Where we stay, we don't have neighbors. So if you carry my child, nobody will know. If you beat him, nobody will hear. So that day when I came, I found the lady had come, but then something she got fearful, and then she said, I can't stay here. So when I came, I was so heartbroken, and I'm like, Lord, when will I get a good nanny here? So in the morning, I'm calling, I'm like, thank you, God. That nanny had falsified all her details. Had she carried your son,
she would not be found.
Yeah.
Wow. That's quite something. So I hope you are learning and enjoying the show and sharing the feed with your friends. Nora and Esther are really bringing to light some of the things that we might ignore as a people concerning stay-at-home moms. It could be a decision, it could be circumstantial, but what's important is that they are able to take care of their kids, literally. You know, you are able to see your child grow, what your child grows. So at the end of the day, I'd like to find out, Nora, do you feel emotionally drained?
Yes, yes, and also very rewarded. Staying at home, you know, sometimes someone who can send their kid away for play school and stuff, they have that moment, you know, you can have some chill time. Me, I'm with them throughout. From when I deliver them, I teach them their first letter and everything. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. So it can be so emotionally draining, but what I've done, I edify myself. If I'm not able to read the Word of God, I will listen to the Word of God. I'm washing dishes and I'm listening to a sermon. Like, I'll tell you something about Life Church. Your lunch hours, usually mostly at the kitchen sink. I'm listening to the lunch hour. And I'm growing. I feel encouraged. I feel like yesterday the topic was avoid negativity. I'm helped inside. I also realize some people are very negative about stay-at-home moms. I avoid that. And I also get a lot of support from my family, my own mother, my mother-in-law, my husband. They help me in this journey. But honestly, my emotional stability is of God. There is no other reason.
You know, I'd like to find out, with that draining, does it affect how you relate with your children and your husband, especially your husband?
Yeah, sometimes. Honestly speaking, I want to be very brutal with people. Sometimes when you're so emotionally drained, my husband looks like another person I have to take care of.
Yeah.
So I have to really get that balance and realize this is not it. Let me give you an example. When I started like laundry, I don't do laundry in the morning. You will never find me doing laundry in the morning. In the morning, we do intellectual stuff. Laundry, I do it when they shower. The hot water they've used, I wash with that if I don't have anyone to help me. So that way, my jobs are, when I wash their clothes, it's like I'm ministering to them. I'm communicating in a funny way. This is Obed's clothes. This is my hubby. Father, bless him. Take care of him. May I know that we met first before all this came. And I'm no longer, he no longer becomes a burden. But sometimes it takes the power of God to
to remain stable.
Always takes the power of God. Yeah.
You know, one thing my sister-in-law told me when I got my first child, may she passed on, I believe she's with the Lord watching us right now. She told me that, you know, you'll stay at home for 3 months and high chances of makasiriko.
Yes.
Kabisa.
will be upon you. At first I was like, how is that? So can you tell us your experience?
You're irritated by every little movement.
Yes.
Every little statement is overthought. And so it builds up an emotion inside and then you can't say it. Nowadays I learned how to deal with it. I realized I shout a lot when I'm
irritated,
stressed. And one day my son told me, Mom, I don't like it when you shout. It's not nice. And I really felt it. And so I try not to shout. I still shout, but low-key. I don't shout a lot, but whenever I feel I am stressed, I feel I am overburdened, I just sit down first and think, what positive thing can I do? Or I just sit and chill. When they talk to me, I look at them. And that's it.
Instead of saying you just...
when I realize I'm almost shouting, I start singing. I love singing. So we sing a lot. And we can do a dance to just take care of that. And I realize I enjoy it when I do things with them. So instead of shouting at them, we do things together. And it... Now for the husband, now that's for the kids. For the husband, I realized when I am overburdened, I say mean things. And I realized, I become so mean with my words and it hurts. So when I feel like I'm almost becoming mean, I keep quiet. And if I have to communicate, I do it in writing. One day he told me, why are you writing me an SMS? And I am just here. I said, I didn't want to say something.
You know, with SMS you can delete.
Exactly.
That's interesting. So instead of shouting, just write. Oh, that's a new one. Nora, how do you deal with, you know, those makasiriko, for those from, you know, another country watching, how would you call it? Being petty. Petty. Yeah, pettiness. How do you deal with pettiness? That's brought about, you know, by being emotionally drained, tired, no one to, you know, exhale to.
I look for something I like doing. Like I was telling you earlier, I realized cooking works for me. So the day I feel like I'm exploding, I'll bake, I'll do what, but I'm just there in the kitchen functioning on my own. But my husband has also realized when I'm overwhelmed, so the volume goes a bit high, and sometimes it would be so bad, I would be like, Baba Obed, come and get your voice.
You are not shouting, but you're very...
So when he realizes that, he's like, boys, let's go for a drive.
That's a nice one.
So they go, we live in a very a scenic place. So they go take a ride. By the time they come back, I'm back. You really have to keep reminding yourself, especially when, let's say there's something that requires money, and like now me, I came from work. I realized I was really letting it on my husband. If there's no money, and you know that time we had both salaries, money was floating around.
Money was everywhere. Behind the seats, under the seats.
You go to the supermarket and you're like, what else can I buy? Because your kids are small and all that. So I would be like, why am I at home? Why don't we have money?
Tell me about it.
I'm going back. Where is my CV? Tomorrow morning. You're staying with the boys.
And you think of how rich your CV is.
I'm going to my former boss's office and I'm getting back my job. Then you actually drive out that morning and then you're like, what am I doing? You come back. As in, you really need to be a stay-at-home mom. You need to be a sober husband helps.
Oh yeah. If you get one who goes with your tempo.
And that said, there are women who naturally, even when they're in high school, they know they want to be a stay-at-home moms.
Yeah.
Naturally. In high school, college, they know it. But I confess, I was not that woman.
Life made you. And now you're enjoying.
Yeah.
I think I like that financial bit. Like, I stayed at home so that, you can work and bring more money. I don't understand why you don't have money. And I have my CV.
Yes. I could, I could go ahead and I can get this sorted. And but it's the way is not in the high horse.
Yeah.
No, it's you calm down.
Yeah.
You settle your mind and you continue seeing the vision, the reason why you left that place in the first place. I've had to go back there. Why did I? To where now the Lord has continued forming me into a keeper at home. Yes.
So I think there's a statement that after every several months, I can't remember how many, people normally forget the vision of a church. So the pastor has to remind them. So for you, what you're saying, after several months, you have to remember.
Precisely, Linda, it's precise.
Yeah. So we need to go on a short break. But when we come back, that's it. See you in a few months.
Kwa nini katika makanisa mengi hakuna utendaji wa Roho Mtakatifu kwa nguvu?
Musa alikuwa mwaminifu, na hiyo kuwa mwaminifu ndio itafanya Mungu atende kazi ndani yako.
Ikiwa ni Mungu ameita wewe, utachukua Biblia na utasoma sehemu fulani, utasema imeandikwa.
Kwa hivyo ni kukua mwaminifu kwa Roho Mtakatifu, na kukua mwaminifu kwa Kristo na kwa neno lake. Ni jambo gani unaona ya kwamba Bwana angetaka tusikie wakati kama huu?
Usiku Mungu aliongea na mimi akaniambia kwamba niita wachungaji na niwaambia kwamba waserede kanisa kwake,
wamrudishie
kwa sababu walimnyang'anya,
wamrejeshe kanisa lake kwa sababu
walimnyang'anya.
Did you just hear that? May God help us. May God restore us as we listen to men that have walked with God.
welcome back to Sister Talk. Thank you for staying tuned, for sharing the feed on stay-at-home moms. And in the first session, we were just discussing with Nora and Esther. They were telling us how them being a stay-at-home mom were born out of, circumstances of life, but now they are enjoying it, trying to balance their lives and all that. And when we went on a break, we were talking about pesa, money. They say, Esther, that the answer to a woman's problems is money. In fact, there was a meme. A woman had headache. They placed a lot of money on her head, and the headache was gone.
True.
So how do you balance now that one is the earner, you are at home? How do you balance? Because before that, you used to earn your money. You can do your own things. You can, go to the salon, whatever. How did you, take that change in life?
We definitely have to agree to disagree. Disagree to agree, whichever comes faster. But however, every month, we have a monthly budget. Every month I know we have this amount to run the house. And I also need this amount to run myself. And also I need this amount to send home, because we have to send something home to our parents. So when we sit down, we do a budget, we do a list of all the things we need, and we agree we're sending this amount, and I have this number of chamas for myself. So I have pocket money also for myself in that budget. And I think that helps a lot. I also need to echo this to most husbands. They need to do...
Yes, husbands.
They need to have something for their wives, especially those wives that are not working. Just a pocket money, something that I can say, this is my money, and I don't have to account for it. I don't have to say what I did with it. Exactly. And so this is how we create a balance. And being open about, tell your wife, this is how much we have. And trust me, every wife knows how much they have and how they can balance what they have. Because, if you hide it, they will keep asking for more. And maybe you don't have it, or maybe you have it. So I think it's just good to be open and plan for the finance that you have and work with what you have. Sometimes it's hectic, can't keep to your budget, but the days that you don't keep to your budget, you have a leeway, or you know exactly what went into the over budget. And
so it's not every time that you will get this amount of money to do this. You have to kind of work per month or by month, depending on what comes.
No, it's a constant kind of thing. Okay, at least for me, it's constant. Every month I work with this. But you see, circumstances change every other month. And sometimes you go overboard, sometimes I save, sometimes. So that's how. Just know where you spend and the allowance you have to spend. Yeah.
So, ni mzuri, the wife to have some money.
Exactly.
For her salon, to go out with her friends,
and to pay for her chamas.
Why did you join the chama before we go to Nora?
The first time why I joined the chama, I needed to pay for something. I needed to do a renovation of my seats. And when we looked at our budget, I realized we cannot have it. And that coincidentally, at that time, there was a friend of mine who was telling me, why don't we start a chama to glam our homes? And I said, good. So that's when I joined the chama. And we did the glamming, and that's how I was able to do my seats. And then after that, we have a neighborhood chama. I also stay in Gishagi on the other side. We have come together as neighbors. So we keep together just to know how we are doing. Because if we don't meet, we will not know how we are doing. And so we have the chama. That's the second chama I have. So I would say just to for neighborliness and also to pay for budgets.
So it's good for a woman to have chama. I know it's not an idea that everybody buys, but for your sake, you found it helpful in terms of meeting your costs in terms of glamming your house, your kitchen, taking yourself to a spa.
It helps.
It helps.
It helps. Wow. Nora, how about you? You are earning a 6-figure. Suddenly you are not getting anything in there.
I had to ask God to deliver me from consumerism. Very honestly speaking, because I was very extravagant, and I learned to be frugal. I manage what I'm given. I'm not perfect, but because I resigned when my second born, who's 4 years now, was 7 months. So it's almost 5 years. So I'm getting there. I'm no longer extravagant and stuff like that. I also grown much of my own food. So like most of the groceries I grow. So
Like spinach,
yeah,
sukuma
all
wiki,
those, yeah.
kienyeji.
We have eggs, stuff. I do stay-at-home momming, which is also called homesteading. So I have farms and I have animals and stuff like that. Not many animals. I've started with chicken. Let's see where it's headed. Yeah. So I'm not in any chama, because for the life of me, I will always be late. I will be fine. I can't keep up. It's too much pressure. I can't keep up. So I'm not in any. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not in any. But I have platforms where one of the things I also do, I'm a very avid importer. So I grew my credit portfolios and all that. So if there's an emergency of some sort, I can always go and get some credit or stuff like that. I've learned to manage what my husband gives me. He also gives me nini for hair allowance, and stuff like that. But then, when you live in a farm with 3 boys, the last thing you want on your head is an expensive wig. As in, you are sweating throughout. And then, everything is around the home. So I find the money I'm given, like for stuff like that, I will find something else to do. But I am abundantly taken care of. But I became another. In fact, the other day, my husband, Linda, honestly speaking, I don't even buy clothes anymore. The ones I had for work, what are they for? I became that minimalist person. I don't know what happened to me. My husband had to hide and buy me a birthday gift of clothes, because he knew if I know the cost of those clothes,
you will bring drama.
Life is funny. I was that person. Now I'm totally, but I'm able to manage what we have. And honestly, we have, for a mom out there who's wondering, how will I manage with such little and stuff? Maybe you can look for us, chini ya maji huko, but you can. Don't be overwhelmed. You can. Yes.
Wow. So that dependence on your husband for, financial support. Did you then have to find something to do on the side? Probably I'll ask this to Esther, so that at least you're earning your little to monies. It might not be so much, but did you have to do something like that? Or?
Oh, I didn't have to. I just started doing it.
That's right.
Yeah. Sometimes, at some point, I used to feel like I'm so much under his shadow, and I really felt like I wanted to. I'm still under his shadow, maybe, but sometimes when you do something on your own, you realize you can do something on your own, then you can move. And sometimes you think, my parents took me to school. What is my mommy thinking?
All that money in paying school fees.
Yeah. And so there's that feeling sometimes, but you have to do something, at least to give yourself some sense of identity, and not just to feel like you're under his shadow.
Overshadowed.
Yeah. But not that I'm complaining. No, I'm not.
Of course, the husband is the head of the home.
Yes.
But the kind of shadow you are talking about is whereby you can be swallowed
Yeah.
and you lose who you are or who you were before you even got married. So you had to find a way of,
Exactly.
kuchomoka pia wewe.
Yeah.
Nora, you talked about importing.
Yes.
Like that.
Why I do anything on the side is Titus 2 talks of the mothers at home. He said, Paul said, we should love our husbands, our children, and keepers of the home. Some translations will say workers at home. We work at home. We are not idlers. We work.
Busybodies.
And I believe this work is not only housework and taking care of chicken. It is work that could also be something beyond that. Number 2, Proverbs 31 talks of the woman. She was mostly at home, but this woman would go and find land and buy it. It doesn't say she bought land with the husband's money. It was her money. And also she would go find nice linen for her family and nice covering for the family. It was her money. So I said, Lord, as I told you, the Lord had to make me a keeper at home. It wasn't. So I asked the Lord, can you show me what I can do to be this woman, that I can have money on my own. I can go and look at land in Rongai and buy and tell my husband, hey, Sunday twende tukule nyama. Let me show you what I was up to over the weekend. The Lord showed me things that I can do from the house. Number 1, I'm a very good researcher. I started learning to drop ship. I can drop ship to Australia, Europe, anywhere. But because of COVID, is where you buy things. Someone orders products from me. I have a drop shipping platform. They can buy things from me while I'm in Kenya. I order them from China and send them to Australia without me moving from the house. So that can be done. It's very popular, but because of COVID, I couldn't go on with it. So I said, Lord, give me something else. As I said, I did nutrition. So I would help people with conditions and sell superfood and stuff. But then you're on the phone the whole day, messaging people and all that, and your child is crying there, calling you. I said, this is not even possible. So I learned to trade stocks. I've been learning. My husband bought me a course, and I trained myself on how to trade stocks. Right now, I'm a profitable stock trader. And I also learned to ship in products. People call me, ship this in for me, ship this in for me. I make some margins. And that is how I'm able to support, like what she was saying, there's the parent guilt. Like my parents took me, they paid for my fees up to masters. There's no way I'll just sit and say, In Tanzania, they would say, unajilaza kama mnyole. You're like, I have food, I have clothes, my hair is made. What is it? You can't do that. You have to even, So that's what I've been learning. Stock trading takes time, but I can honestly say right now I'm profitable. So when my husband comes and takes over the boys, I hit the US market. So contrary to what people think, stay-at-home moms are illiterate. I want to refer to one politician.
I think let's come to the presumptions right now about stay-at-home moms. But if you are tuning in, you've heard that it's possible to stay at home and still make money on the side while doing one or two. And I think that's where the internet comes in. It has really been helpful to many of us. So if you're tuning in, I hope you are learning one or two on the show. So let's go to the misconceptions now about stay-at-home moms. One, they are very illiterate.
We are illiterate. We like eating our husband, chop our husband's money. Chop it, sister. You chop now. And it just eyeglass, watching soaps, right? Honestly, I don't even know the latest soap.
There's never time.
There's no time. When you watch a movie, it's a blessing. I don't know what people, It's a blessing to watch a movie. You have to watch a movie by faith.
Things that are hopeful.
Yeah, so stay-at-home moms, I wanted to say, I would refer, there's a politician, Ahmed Nasir. He said he has 5 kids. The wife has she's very learned, but she's a stay-at-home mom. He likes it that way. One of the things also is that some husbands want their wives at home. That's what they prefer. There are men like that, and there are women like that who would want to stay at home. There are very many dynamics. We need to be open-minded about it. So we are not illiterate. We are very, in fact, let me ask you, who is the best person suited to receive my intellectual smartness?
Your children.
You spoke it.
Hey, I beg.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna homeschool my children.
Esther is now inspired. You're intellectual up to that higher learning that you got. What are the other misconceptions you mentioned?
Just they have nothing to do. The idlers who are gossipers. I just want to say that there's one thing that I do not like: idling and gossiping. And there's never time to watch TV. The TV, I don't even know when it gets switched on or off. And with the little time you get to watch a movie, you're careful you don't sleep because you're too tired to watch. And there's one thing that I don't like that people keep saying, the stay-at-home moms have not gone to school. I have gone to school.
And you've gone even to higher learning.
Yes. I am currently doing my project for my master's. And that is something I'm looking forward to graduating. I'm a good planner, and I don't do events and all, but more of a project manager. So if I get gigs or I get side jobs that enable me to plan for a project from start to completion, I'm very good at keeping records. I'm very good at accounting. Not accounting money-wise, but just keeping accounts of everything that's happening, and even just record keeping. That's what I do best, and something that I'm proud to accept that I can do.
You know, there's something, when you remember when Kamala Harris was appointed as the vice president, the current vice president of the US, there was a meme that was running. I don't know if you saw it, that husbands like women who give them titles.
Okay.
They like wives who give them titles, like the way he gave the husband first husband, second husband, something like that. And so the question then would come, how should the woman ensure that she does not lose her identity? So that she does not, when the husband comes home at night, in the evening, she's not telling them about Mama Boy, bought a cloth like mine.
Oh my goodness.
Or yet the woman knows the gossip in the neighborhood. She's the 411 of that. If you want breaking news, go to Bamatom. How should a stay-at-home mom ensure that she does not turn to something like that?
Personally, I would say we are Christians. Our foundation is the Word of God. So what does the Bible say about the woman who stays at home? We are warned against being idlers, gossipers, like she said. The Word of God should be the foundation. And also, if you look at the model of the women in the Bible, Proverbs 31. She wasn't lazy. Look at that woman. She couldn't do all those things while just being, stories are, you are the, when you know the stories in the village and stuff. By the time you're done doing the kind of businesses this lady was doing, you don't even have time for that kind of gossiping and stuff. But one of the things I thought when you called us here, we have a problem. We imagine The moment you're married, you automatically become a wife, a keeper at home, a mother when you automatically give birth. The Lord has to form you. Even Paul would say, I pray that you grow in revelation and knowledge of Christ. We need revelation and knowledge of being keepers at home, being mothers, being wives. It has to be a revelation. So if you lack revelation, you have no vision.
Yeah.
If you have no vision, you will be found doing those things you're talking about. If you have revelation, you will know when your husband comes, that's not the time to tell him Nani did. It shows lack of understanding. And it comes, Linda, I had to learn this. I realized, like I would say, oh, I'm going home, I'll just schedule myself around and work it. And I realized I couldn't. I had to ask the Lord, show me the way to go about this. Because you're dealing with people with different dynamics. You also need the strength of God. Because Linda, you cannot be a stay-at-home because you took ugali and milk for breakfast. That energy is not enough. You need another supernatural. It doesn't help.
Yeah.
God has to be your strength. So we as women, we need to go back to God.
So Esther, how do you ensure that your husband is coming home? The only thing you can talk about is story ya ploti. You cannot talk about anything intellectual. There can be no intellectual engagement or, any other engagement apart from gossip.
Now, first of all, we are friends.
Yes.
And I thank God that we have studied almost the same thing. He's in energy, I'm in environment. And the company that we run is in energy and environment. And so we are able to have intellectual discourse. Oh, he is.
Hallelujah.
I tell you. And so we're able to relate. We don't have time to talk about other people. The only time we can talk about other people is when we say, now, should we really engage with this kind of person? No, we can't. Let's move on. And that is how we do it. And so it's just a matter of finding better things to talk about. We talk about church. We sing together in the choir. Okay, when we moved to a new church and we got into the choir, we sing together. So sometimes when we have nothing to talk, we just sing.
You sing.
Yeah.
You are the people.
And we don't sing because we have nothing to talk. Let me take back my words. We just sing together. We find better things to do.
It's like a hobby that you two enjoy doing together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow. So instead of gossiping and telling, being the 411, find a way of engaging your mind so that you don't become an idle mind.
Oh, yeah.
Because an idle mind becomes a chatterbox. Is a room for the enemy.
That's right.
The enemy works with your mind when you're idle. So because of time, Nora and Esther, I'd like us to close the show. And I'll ask you guys to give your closing remarks. So I'll start with you, Esther. Just, look at that camera and talk to someone.
I'm talking to ladies out there who are stay-at-home moms, circumstantially or by choice, that you got it. That's what I can encourage you with. You got it. And the best encouragement I can give you is that you are the best. If not in anyone's eyes, then your children's eyes and your family's eyes. Everyone puts you up there. So do not look down on yourself. And do not say that I am not enough. You are enough. And when you feel that you're not enough, just go down and sit at the feet of Jesus and tell him all your troubles. Trust me, once you are up from there, everything will be okay. You are enough. In everything that you plan, in everything that you want to do, you are enough.
Wow, that's powerful. Nora?
To every stay-at-home mom, I would love for you to know that God is your strength, God is your wisdom, God is your advantage. And you are not alone in that house with those children. The power of God is available for you. That your Father in heaven, who gave you those children, has all the resources that you require mentally, physically, and spiritually for you to take care of your home and be a beautiful homemaker. But for even moms who would like to be stay-at-homes and for one reason or another, you're not able to do that. Where you are to, God is there. He loves you. He's your Father and is available for you. And as we live, we pray for you right now. Every woman listening to us, let there be a realignment of destiny. Let there be a realignment of purpose. May God have you where He would have you for the reasons He would have you there. Be blessed, be lifted, and be encouraged.
Wow. Thank you, Nora and Esther, for coming to the show. I'm sure you've encouraged one or two people who have been watching, not one or two, thousands
Amen.
will be watching this show today.
Amen.
Because, you know, stay-at-home moms should actually be a profession. It's actually okay, is it a profession? It's a ministry.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a ministry, and it's just not part of the fivefold. So guys, thank you so much for watching and engaging in this conversation. All stay-at-home moms, you can do it. You are made for it. You have the strength, you have the stamina and the strength of God to go through this time. And of course, we also have stay-at-home dads. In case you are among the few, God bless you and keep doing what you're doing. I've been your host, Linda Talam. See you again next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye.